Hey there and welcome to the channel. Today I want to share my first ever half marathon experience with you. I'll be providing tips and tricks to enhance your marathon experience based on my own learnings. I must admit, my journey running 13.1 miles wasn't as smooth as I had hoped. First of all, let's look at the ideal preparation for a half marathon. This guide will surely help you no matter if this is your first time running a half marathon or you're looking to improve your PR. Preparing for a half marathon involves more than just lacing up your running shoes and hitting the pavement. Achieving success in a half marathon requires a thoughtful, well-rounded approach that encompasses physical fitness and strategic planning. Here's an in-depth guide to help you prepare for your half marathon adventure. Begin by defining your objectives. Whether it's achieving a personal best time, completing the half marathon, or conquering a specific challenge, clearly articulate your goals. This will serve as the foundation for your training plan. In my example, my primary goal was to finish the half marathon in under 2 hours. This goal setting was the first step to building my training plan. Develop a systematic and progressive training plan that gradually increases your mileage. Incorporate a mix of short and long runs, interval training, and rest days. It is of course clear that not everybody has a large amount of free time. Thus, you have to plan smart. Try to aim for at least 3 running sessions per week. If possible, also train other stuff, rather than just running the whole time. This helps getting your whole body into shape. On screen, you can now see my personal 6-week training plan. It consists of 4 sessions per week. In the first 2 weeks, I would often run at an easy pace with a couple of intervals or hill sprints. This interval training is an important part of becoming a good runner. It builds up your lung capacities. So don't just run at the same pace every day. This might bring results in the first couple of weeks, but later on you will see little to no progress. In the third and fourth week, I gradually increase the intensity of my training sessions. But watch out! Don't start with this process in the second week, because the higher the intensity of the training session, the higher the chance of an injury. Give your muscles some time to build up. They need it. In the 5th week, I would intensify and lengthen the sessions. But listen to your body. It is not a sign of weakness if you need 7 instead of 6 weeks for your half marathon preparation. Better listen to your body than later regretting not to. And if you feel like you won't be able to get ready until the day of the half marathon event, just don't go to the event. You can always run where and when you want. Nobody says that you have to run at an official event. In the 6th and final week, we cut down the training intensity and time. It is important that you go into the half marathon well rested. After 13.1 miles, it is important not to run or do any kind of exercise for at least 2 days. It can be really harmful for your body if you do so. But on the contrary, don't just stop with running altogether after your first half marathon. Immediately think of new goals. For example, try beating your previous marathon PR. Because I went into this marathon training already quite in shape, it only took me 6 weeks to get prepared. For not as sporty people, I would highly advise a longer preparation period, for example 12 weeks. This training plan is built up the same way as the 6-week plan. Of course, you can always add a session or skip a session here and there. The important thing is that this doesn't occur more than twice a week. For example, if you missed 2 training sessions the previous week, I wouldn't try to make up for them the week after. If you do this, your risk of an injury is extremely high. As previously said, give your body some rest. I had to find this out the hard way myself. After skipping a 9-mile run on a Friday, I thought I could just run 4 miles plus the 9 miles on the next Monday. This turned out to be a big mistake. At the end of the week, I had run far too much and I had to rest for a whole week straight due to pain. Integrate core strengthening exercises into your routine. A strong core enhances stability, reduces the risk of injuries, and contributes to a better overall running form. Exercises like planks, squats, and lunges can be beneficial. I didn't implement this into my training plan for the reason that I sometimes did this at the side when I had some spare time or some extra motivation. A 1-minute plank after a running session really builds up your core strength and improves your overall physique. Complement your running routine with cross-training activities such as swimming, cycling, or strength training. This not only prevents burnout, but also enhances your overall fitness level. In addition to that, it also prevents your training sessions from getting too monotonous. As you can see in my training plan, I implemented this and had a cross-training session almost every Sunday. As previously said, you should acknowledge the importance of rest and recovery in your training plan. Allow your body to recover after intense workouts, prioritize quality sleep, and consider activities such as yoga or stretching to aid recovery. To be real with you guys, I absolutely despise yoga, but I always stretch before and after intense running sessions. This prevents muscle soreness. Fuel your body with a well-balanced diet rich in carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats. Pay attention to your hydration, especially during long runs. Experiment with different nutrition plans during training to identify what works best for you. I don't really want to get in detail here, because there have been so many videos already talking about diets, but I'd be happy to do one of my own if I see a demand for it. As I will show you further down the line, I had my problems being hydrated all the time. Invest in high quality running shoes that are suitable for your foot type and gait. Break them in during training to avoid discomfort on race day. Wear moisture wicking clothing to stay comfortable during long runs. There is this rule of thumb that you should have as many pairs of running shoes as you have running sessions per week. I believe this rule to be obnoxious. I myself only have one pair and I don't see the need for another. I own a pair of Brooks, which I believe to be pretty good. Important here is that you go to a store and get advice from an expert. Never buy running shoes off the internet. You never know if they will properly fit you. And by going to your local running store, you support your local economy. Train your mind as rigorously as your body. Develop mental resilience through visualization, positive self-talk, and mindfulness practices. Mental strength plays a crucial role during challenging moments in the race. Okay, that was all BS. As long as you're not running 100 miles, I don't believe that mental strength has any meaning. Of course, you can with a strong mentality push yourself beyond your boundaries, but if this is truly a good thing is to be debated. As long as you showed up for almost every session, you should not have a problem on running day and the strong mentality should not be needed. In the weeks leading up to the half marathon, simulate race conditions during some of your long training runs. Practice your pacing, hydration, and nutrition strategies to ensure they align seamlessly on race day. Buy yourself a running bottle and/or gel and experience how your body reacts to you eating and drinking whilst running. This was for me my biggest mistake during my preparation. I never drank or ate during my running sessions. This became a huge problem during my half marathon run. If possible, acquaint yourself with the running course. Understanding the terrain, elevation changes, and key landmarks can mentally prepare you for the race and contribute to strategic race day decisions. In my case, this was pretty easy. I didn't compete in an official half marathon, I just ran when I felt ready. I looked for a running track in my local area and literally just ran around it a couple of hundred times. But I wouldn't encourage you to do the same. It can be very uniform and boring running the same track again and again. When searching for an appropriate running course, I would especially pay attention to the elevation of the course. Try to run on a shallow stretch. If not, you will get tired very fast and you will not be able to maximize your potential time. If you plan on participating in an official event, Try to find out the exact running course and at least drive along it. You can also visit the course by bike and get your cross training in. Plan and organize your race day logistics well in advance. Prepare a checklist that includes your race attire, nutrition plan, hydration strategy, and any necessary paperwork. Arriving early and staying calm are essential to a good race. As already mentioned earlier, I ran on a running course. This particular running course was only 300 meters long. The track's repetitiveness offered both advantages and drawbacks. First of all, there wasn't a need to carry my nutritions and water with me. I could just take a quick break and drink at the side of the track. However, the compact nature of the track resulted in a monotonous running experience. The continuous repetition of the loop created a mental challenge for me as the surroundings remained unchanged. The first thing I did when arriving at the course was that I walked the whole length of it to see if there were any bumps in the ground for which I had to watch out. After completing this task, I stretched for a couple of minutes. Then was the big moment. I started the clock in my running app and began my race. To the race there actually isn't much to say. I had showed up to almost every training session, and for that reason 13.1 miles in under 2 hours wasn't a problem at all. The only problems I faced while running were that I had started the race in the late afternoon. As daylight transitioned to darkness, it got harder and harder to see where I was going. Another downside was that I had no pacemaker. Because I was running by myself, nobody could look over my pace and tell me to run faster or slower. This had the effect that every other mile or so, I realized that I was going too slow. So, to make up time, I had to run faster again. This resulted in an uneven running pace. What I only realized after I had finished the race what my biggest mistake had been. I hadn't eaten and drunken enough during the race. During the race, I had felt hydrated. For this reason, my hydration input had been slim. But shortly after the race was finished, I got some insane headaches, which probably stemmed from drinking too little. The next 2 days, I literally only lay in bed and had a severe headache. On the other hand, this actually had a positive effect. My muscles could rest, and when I had recovered from my headaches, I could start with running immediately again. That concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you all the best and I hope you succeed in your running goals.